Welcome, friends from around the world. Welcome to June Assembly. This is our last assembly before World Unity Week kicks off in less than 2 weeks. So, thank you all who joined us for the assembly calls for showing up to keep the momentum going, bringing together all the good we have in our world. Thanks to everyone who registered their missions. And if you haven't yet, it's not too late. Please go ahead and do so. My mission partner for this year is Becky. So let's hear from Becky.
Blessings. Thank you, Irina. Blessings, joy, love to everyone. I'm so grateful to be here for our World Unity Week Assembly, our last one before. I can't believe it's a week. When you said that, like,
Yeah.
wow, here we go again. We're so grateful that you are here because the gift of your presence is such a gift to us and to the whole. And Irina and I have let blossom between us our mission that we're going to be sharing in the days to come a little more formally. But we were talking about how astonishing it is when we let something blossom instead of like forcing a bloom. That we planted a seed with each other a while back that we wanted to do something during World Unity Week together. And that's what we hope to inspire in each of you, is for you to discover the seed that may already be peeping and showing its a little bit of its flower petals to you and revealing. And we have our hub huddles on Thursday, and we'll help you discover how you might be able to share that with the whole, as Irina and I will be doing. I don't know if you want to share a little bit more about that, Irina, about what happened between us.
I will add that yes, that's what the mission is all about. Hearing that little call or just feeling that little nudge, and then just allowing it to bloom, as Becky said. We're very grateful that we can provide that platform for you to literally bloom in your mission. So yeah, if you do feel that at present, just go ahead and register and then join the huddle on Thursday. So you can find out more how to blossom to a full flower during World Unity Week and beyond throughout the 99 days, because that's what the mission's all about, to carry them out through 99 days of peace through unity. And yes, Becky and I are pairing up. We had slightly similar experiences in the last couple of years on a personal level, and we actually want to offer, something to encourage and empower women who perhaps are going through same similar, finding themselves on a crossroads, where to next, and how to blossom on that crossroad.
It's really beautiful, and it's I think what we may be creating, Irina, is what we needed the last couple of years ourselves, is to create a safe space for women to join us as we go through a transition. I mean, in the world there is such a transition, and I think it is truly a coincidence that right now the lunar experience of the full moon being at its, my mentor told me it's called a lunar standstill that happens every 18 and a half years. Over the last 24 hours, it's happening where it appears that the moon is not moving as you look at her on the horizon. And I think that's just adding even more collective energy to what Irina and I are bringing, what she and I are supporting for each of you for World Unity Week, and what we hope to learn from each of you over World Unity Week and the 99 days. And so we're grateful. We'll be sharing more details, but more important than our mission is what is yours to experience during World Unity Week. So we're really grateful that you're here. And I think we're going to pass it over to Ben Bowler, and so that he can lead us through our assembly time together. Thank you for being here.
Wonderful, wonderful. The secret revealed. These two have been hatching up their plans for the last weeks and not giving much away about what their mission was. But I love that. I love that. That's great. That the mission, Irina and Becky, is to support others, and particularly women in this case, to, through that journey, because it is daunting stepping out of our shells and stepping into our calling. It's rarely easy. In fact, I don't know if it's ever been particularly easy for anyone. So what you're offering is so valuable and such a heartfelt offering for the mission right across, not just World Unity Week, but right across the 99 days. And we'll be talking a little bit about the missions. We're going to be talking quite a bit about the missions today, because that's a big feature in World Unity Week. I want to bring up Brother John just to, as we kick off today. And I also want to bring forward, she's got a video of Anna Marie from the Hague Center. We're coming up to our 6th World Unity Week. It's amazing that we've made it this far. I've been telling people that doing the pre-records for the World Unity Week plenaries, and I'll talk a little bit about how that's going to work today before we get into the rest of the assembly. But it is so incredible how resonant World Unity Week's theme and the 99 Days theme is this year. It has been just an incredible privilege over the last few days to pre-record some of the greatest thinkers in our community globally, not just thinkers, but action takers as well, around truth, beauty, goodness, and this idea of lighting the way forward for us at this challenging time, which we're all so familiar with in the global context. So incredible movements like Humanity's Team, which have been going for decades, and Emmanuel Kunzelman and the Hola movement. It's a vision he's had for 50 years. The synergy circles of the evolutionary leaders. It's amazing what's happening. The unitive narrative, the deep and rapid transformational convergence are like overloaded with like optimism and energy of what's emerging and what's not just emerging, but evolving. And some of these things have been, as I mentioned, the Hola movement's been a seed in Emmanuel's mind for 50 years. But some of these have been in the world for 20 years, 30 years. But right now are coming to a kind of fruition. I love the flowering that Irina and Becky are bringing forth with this idea of there is absolutely a flowering in our days on this time. None of that is to take away from how dire the situation is and how much pain, suffering, anxiety, uncertainty that is there. That's absolutely there. But what I can tell you is this, what we are collectively bringing here is medicine. And I can't wait for you to experience these amazing plenaries. And so the structure is going to be, we'll have the website up and everything else, and in One World, the schedule, I'm hoping in the next 3 or 4 days. But the way it's going to work is the plenaries, again, are going to be 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time and 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time, every day through World Unity Week after the first day. The first day being the solstice on the 21st of June, which John will tell us about as well today. And those structure of those events, the first hour is going to be the visionary voices, some of the ones I've mentioned today, they're all amazing. And then the second hour is going to be something very, very special. So in the AM slot, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., Cara Stonehouse from the Hague Center for Global Governance will be leading a journey through the week, really reflecting on what the speaker has shared, but also taking us deeper into a journey of engagement and listening to all the voices in the room. They'll all be watchable here in room 1. Everything will be in room 1. We have another amazing program that Victoria Friedman and Ron have worked on for poetry. Jonathan Granoff is doing his poetry. There's a lot of beauty. Kristen Hoffman and David Lorimer are doing a live program of music and spoken word. Like, there's so many beautiful things across the week. Then the PM plenary will be hosted by none other than John Raymer. And again, there'll be a watch party to watch the incredible sharings of these visionary voices, and then into a co-creation circle with Auntie Patricia Ann Davis and John leading the way in this modality which has emerged over the last year. Co-creation circles are a beautiful way to really capture the voice of the group, of the collective, using all the available tools. And John has really honed that modality to be an incredibly beautiful one. So that's the general structure of World Unity Week across the week, John. we're coming up to the solstice. It's close. There's a lot that's unfolding. The co-creation circles are going to be a powerful space for people to be. How are you? How are you today?
Hmm. My God, what a time to be alive, Ben, and everybody. This is not another World Unity Week. This is really uncharted territory. And you know, that pressure that we're all feeling, sometimes it makes carbon and sometimes it makes a diamond, right? It's that same pressure. We could feel it, the uncertainty, the volatility, the complexity. So the indigenous ceremonial change process is a way of really getting at what's out of balance and the root cause, and then having a safe enough place to empty so we can restore balance. And that's why it's such a privilege that we've birthed all of us here, Solstice Unites, as a way of allowing the indigenous people to speak and be heard now. A global powwow. The idea here is social medicine. We can't just keep doing what we've been doing. It's led us here. If we don't change our direction, we're going to wind up where we're headed. And we're going to have a taste of it today, actually. The question that we're going to ask ourselves, and we're going to be doing this throughout World Unity Week, but even today, let's start. If truth, beauty, and goodness were restored as guiding forces on our world, what would change? So I have that as the Mentimeter, and I want to leave that up for us to be able to start to see the power of doing what Ben was talking about, of each of us speaking for ourselves, but then summarizing what we're saying and hearing the voice of us as a whole, seeing through the eyes of the whole. This kind of collective intelligence has never been available to people before. And maybe the story is going to be that now with this kind of creativity, we can actually unify. That unity doesn't become just a theoretical hope and dream, but actually manifests in the way we're being. That's why the indigenous wisdom belongs to all of us. It's a natural order. And getting back to that, what a joy to be able to do that. So those 7 themes, and we'll mention it now, but each day we're going to get into one of them. And all of our missions are connected to these themes. So there's going to be a chance for us to discover each other and to discover how do we turn what we have into what we need so we can get what we want. Can we create an environment for that kind of evolved potential? That's what I am committed to. And I'm grateful for the moment. I mean, wow. Where do we go from here? So let's do it together, right? They say in the end, everyone will know that everyone did it.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, John. You always bring a profundity to our gatherings, and every time the poignancy of now, which just seems to increase. I want to unscripted bring Anna Marie up here as well, because the Hague Center, John with the Sign Network and Unity Earth and the other organizations has really been Hubcast over the last few years, has been sort of the germane organizations to what has happened in World Unity Week. And Anna Marie, I know it's late at night where you are in Europe, so thank you for joining us with your video on. But just wanted to give you an opportunity to share, as we are here on the precipice of another solstice, another World Unity Week. There is so much unfolding. We had an amazing conversation last night, where everyone will get to share and see during World Unity Week. So I know there's an incredible amount that's happening and that you're connected to. But tell us, what is it you're feeling right now in this particular moment?
Thank you, Ben. Yeah, well, wonderful to see us all, and I think that's the largest thing, the gratitude to do this with each other and to do this together and to stay committed, because some of us have been here all the time on that journey. And I think we're experiencing, of course, I mean, for me, let's say, there's the joy of doing it together, but there's also this realization that it's not always easy to collaborate, to really come together in a co-creative space, and to do that in a way that is not kind of like repetitive, which sometimes shows up in a different form, but in essence it's the same. But can we really come into that space? So I agree with John that that this opportunity that we have, that we can sometimes create these conditions now, that we can very swiftly actually look into the mirror together collectively through AI, through Mentimeter, through all these tools. And we have been practicing that because you might recall, Ben, that every time something came up new in whether it was in, I don't even remember, in GoTo or in Skype or in all these technologies that came up. I mean, especially John, but also others of us were always trying to see how it could work, if it could do something different, if we could go into, sometimes we were kind of like, oh no, please don't stop. But he said, come on, let's play. And I think that's the great thing, that we are taking ourselves very serious and also not so serious. and I don't know any other way that we can do it than that. That combination of profoundly wanting to try it out and figure it out and fall down and get up again, and also just knowing that we're a unique, important part, and we're one of so many. But hey, what else can we do? Let's just do this together. So yeah, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here in the coming week, to just really, again, see what we can be doing and how we can inspire each other and support each other also in these very difficult times, and also be there just to be listening, be opening our hearts, supporting, helping, taking responsibility, and sometimes just saying, I don't know anymore. And having, I just really hope that we all feel that we can do that here, and that we can do that in World Unity Week as well, that we can really say, I don't know anymore. How on earth can we stay sane? And that doing that together can also help us. And that truth, beauty, and goodness, like, can be some kind of a compass, even those three are difficult because we all have the different views, but that's part of the diversity and the exploration. So
Thank you, Anna Marie. I think that's really beautiful and important to speak into the vulnerabilities associated with collaboration, because sometimes people hear all these great words like collaboration and synergy and co-creation, and all sounds amazing. But the reality is, as humans, it ain't always easy to collaborate and co-create. That's just true. You've spoken a profound truth there. And the important thing, I think, is wherever possible to hang in there and to build enough of the bonds of trust and love to overcome the rocky road sometimes. And I think this community, by and large, I think has done really well in navigating through the challenges, where there are different opinions. Inevitably, there are different constructs and perspectives. I mean, this is not going to go away. So the fact is, the hierarchical kind of top-down way of doing things works pretty well, because it's pretty simple and it's easy to kind of understand how decisions get made. But in this co-creative space of collaboration and seeking synergy, it's something we are making the road by walking it. And we're making the road by walking it, and we're learning as we go, as you've said, Anna Marie. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think that's really profound. And what we learn on the way can be applicable in so many different ways. So maybe that's the real work that we're all doing, is figuring out how do we collaborate and connect and show up together as equals in a journey of creation together. What a great thing to be learning. And if World Unity Week can contribute anything to that process, then it's made a great contribution. So thank you, Anna Marie, for sharing that. We're going to go now to one of our speakers today, and somebody who, along with the other organizations I've mentioned, is doing profound work on the global stage, and an organization that goes back 40 years with an incredible heritage, big influence over what happened with the International Day of Peace and its emergence in the early 80s, and an organization that's doing incredible work today. Particularly admirable is the youth empowerment that this organization, it's Pathways to Peace, I want to bring Hezekiah Gabriel up. Tez, it's amazing to have you with us for the World Unity Week June Assembly, and we look forward to hearing what you want to share about what this year is special, 2025. And there's so much acceleration. We're almost halfway through it. I know you've got big plans for later in the year, which we look forward to hearing as well. And anything else you want to share about truth, beauty, goodness, or anything your heart wants to say. It's great to have you with us, Tez.
I am just so delighted to be here, Ben. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone, because every single person on this call could be spotlighted to tell the amazing work that they're doing. So I'm quite humbled to be able to be here in the spotlight today. And I want to say that there's so many things we share and believe. And, you know, I think what we have to offer, and when I say we, and my voice is a little weak, I'm recovering from a bad cold, but I think what all of us here have to offer is really hope. Because right now, the greatest challenge for everyone on the planet are these feelings of powerlessness. And of course, they can join us. And as a result, they can take action. And that action overcomes those feelings of helplessness and powerlessness and replaces those with hope. So I'm never without hope. And I'm just delighted I wake up every day feeling incredibly privileged for the opportunities I have to really advance this vision and this mission of Pathways to Peace. That was so very carefully, deliberately, and passionately put in place by our beautiful Avon Madison, who, you know, will always share a special place in our World Unity Week heart. And so she's here. She continues to guide the work. And I just get to take that work to the next level, which is incredible and fun and inspires me always. So I think you wanted me to talk a little bit about what Pathways to Peace is doing today, and kind of what we're laying the pathway down for the future, including the rest of this year following through on the International Day of Peace, which of course is embedded in Pathways to Peace's DNA. And then, of course, October 24th was the establishment of the United Nations, so 80-year anniversary there. So I'm going to do my best to do that and to do it as briefly as I can. Just talking about Pathways to Peace and its work could take up our whole time there. And I don't want to be that person. So I'm going to try to be as succinct as possible and still give you something that may speak to a little bit of where we are, what we care about, and where we're going. So with that, I'm just going to share a couple of slides. And I want to say also that another metaphor, I love the blooming metaphor, another metaphor that we use with DRTC and with some of the other global initiatives is that of the butterfly, the beautiful jeweled butterfly from metacrisis to metamorphosis, and that we're now in that process of the imaginal cells coming together, and for that butterfly to be able to burst out of that cocoon. And we're ready for that. And so when the timing is right, and I think it's already happening, we just haven't quite kind of come out of that cocoon. We're still stretching and beginning to break through that cocoon. And so it's very, very exciting to be in these times is just incredible. So I'm not nearly as good at this as John is. I always appreciate how quickly he moves these things forward. So I'm going to. Do you have just the slide with the hands? There we go. Whoops. No, I wanted to go back one. Sorry about that, folks.
It's
You
okay.
can move
No
the
worries.
arrow, click the arrow and
So our vision is a world at peace. So you can imagine with a global vision like this, that it gives us lots of opportunity to experiment with this motivating question. I loved, John, that you put that question before us, because if we can ponder that, it shapes and informs the actions we take. And so our motivating question is, what's going to move the needle on peace? And that is a question that I get up with every day, and it does shape and inform all of our work. So our mission is that Pathways to Peace leads, inspires, and acts to make peace a lived reality. You should see that from us if we're doing what we need to do. And our values are that we are multicultural, intergenerational. We know that the global and local are connected. We work always in cooperation and collaboration, and that we recognize that everyone is a pathway to peace. So all the diverse pathways matter. We don't need to choose which one is better than the other. All of them are helping us move that needle, and everyone here is a pathway to peace. And so what we care about based on that question is impact. And so I am going to be honest to say that we continue to look at what are the various ways that together are going to move that needle. And a big part of it, as you all know, because we've worked with many of you, is that we recognize we can only do it together. So most folks know about our peace education at the UN and beyond. We do a lot of that. Our consultation, Avon really did a lot of, she was a brilliant consultant, did a lot of consultation. Most of our consultation with organizations these days is really more in the realm of strategic planning and program development, but we still play that role. Basic to who we are is accelerating a unitive worldview, really getting back to that we're creating a new story of reality, which is that unitive narrative, which science has merged with indigenous wisdom and sacred traditions to say that we are all interconnected. It's our existential reality. So we recognize that accelerating this unitive narrative, the unitive worldview, if we can do that and do that well, then peace will prevail on earth. And we will, all of those other critical issues that are part of the United Nations SDGs, all of those would collapse if we really recognize that we are all one. And what harms you harms me. What helps me helps you. And so that's kind of at the root of the work that we need to be doing. You know, we have many programs, and I'll pull up our our website homepage just so you get to see it and see if there are any programs that you're really interested in hearing about. And then another part of our work, and the programs, by the way, that's the heartbeat of Pathways to Peace. That keeps us grounded in what's important. And those programs expand peace, but they also eliminate barriers to peace. And then we're very committed to field building, which is why I put a stake in the ground about the importance of collaborative fundraising. That's why we serve in leadership positions in the global initiatives that we know are going to create the field where truth, beauty, and goodness will prevail, where peace will prevail on earth. So that's kind of our areas of work. And as I look out at how can we make the greatest impact, it really is in the most impactful programs in each of these areas. And because, as John and Ben has said to us many times, we can't be in all places at all times. There are always some difficult decisions to make. But we recognize that it's our responsibility to be intentional about all of it. And so let me see if I can quickly put up our webpage. Of course it was here, but now it's not. So let me do that. And thank you for your patience, by the way.
No worry, Tez. I mean, it's wonderful for all of us, I think, to learn a little more about all the different things that Pathways is doing as you find the webpage there. But so many different areas and so many activities. It's so inspiring and incredible to be continuing the legacy of Avon Madison the way that you are. It's something that really flows, as you say, through World Unity Week and the 99 days, which really are in Avon's honor, all the way through to Peace Day, Peace Weekend, Peace Week, everything that unfolds in September.
Exactly. And never doubt for any of you here that our incredible peace leaders who have passed on to the other side, they are absolutely guiding and directing the work that we're doing today, and that got us to this particular point in time. So I'm going to just put these up so you can see them. And
Yeah.
so we are missing one of our core programs here just because of space, which is our Wisdom Keepers, Bringing Peace to Our World, which is a repository of our elders in video form, talking about their vision of peace and how to get there. So I want to say that the Girls' Shelter in Guinea began as a mission. The first year we had missions, 2023.
Wow.
I brought this to one of our meetings, Ben, one of our Wednesday night meetings, where I talked about how touched I was, in tears, of course, that there were girls in Guinea that were brave, said no to female genital mutilation, and as a result were homeless. And so I put into the mix our mission for creating a girls' shelter in Guinea. That same year, on Peace Day, we opened up the girls' shelter in Guinea. So never question the power of mission, spoken out loud and committed to with powerful colleagues. So we're very blessed this last year. We're a new recipient of a Purpose Earth grant.
Mhm.
And any of the people here on this call have contributed to making the girls' shelter in Guinea a success. And it began with the girls' shelter as kind of a cornerstone of our work in Guinea. Well, actually, it began with peace education and our partners and us developing a relationship so they could, we together created the girls' shelter. And then a road came through Kindia, Guinea, and wiped out the school, which also housed an orphanage. And so once again, a miracle occurred where we were able to find the funds to work with our partners to finish the construction on what began as a hospital but got abandoned. And so now we have a peace school in Kindia, Guinea, that's going to open in the fall. And it also is going to house on the second floor a girls' shelter. It's also housing our media center, our Hubcast Media Center. It's going to house the orphanage. And our partners are already talking about a technology institute for girls as the next step there, where everyone can get trained. And you have to know this is a patriarchal society. 97% of the girls experience female genital mutilation. And Guinea has the second highest amount of that practice. So to be focusing on girls and gender-based violence is incredible. You know about our youth leadership program. We have, local around the UN where we bring the kids to the UN. We also have a global group, our Exceptional Women of Peace program. Some of you have been candidates for that. We're in the process now of selecting the next Exceptional Woman of Peace, Exceptional Young Woman of Peace. These leaders that have been selected for the awards in the past are often doing their peace work in the most challenging circumstances. So if you go on that site, if you want to lift, take a look at the ceremony there. Our nuclear disarmament advocacy and research program is led by Renor Yani, who is one of our youth. We've worked with him for about 7 years. He now leads and coordinates that program, has made incredible accomplishments around moving the needle on the TPNW, the Treaty for Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons, and has done incredible work around shifting the narrative around that at the UN globally, and especially in Eastern Europe. So that just gives you a sense of some of the things.
Wonderful. Tez, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What's the capacity of the girls' shelter?
We currently are full at 4, so we will be expanding that with our move into the new building.
Wonderful.
So, yeah, can I then just touch on a couple of things that are like not mentioned in any of that, but I think are important for pathways forward?
Just a couple of minutes, Tez, in a couple of minutes.
Promise. We're doing a research project on a youth perspective on the implementation of the Pact for the Future / Future Generations. We, of course, are at the UN cluster. We have youth going to the Youth Observation Day of the International Day of Peace. We have our San Francisco Bay Area Culture of Peace Collaborative, who will be working on our International Day of Peace this year. And we're doing badass peace building these days, which simply means standing in our own power, speaking our own truth, but also standing in solidarity with the other organizations that are experiencing trauma at this particular time because of the socio-political environment. So just lots and lots of stuff. We love you all. thank you for working with us. Thank you for your support. And thank you for allowing me this time. You were generous.
Oh,
Thank you.
Ches, thank you. Thank you for that very deep and heartfelt presentation of the incredibly substantive work and, doing it while you're not feeling 100% as well. Just thank you for the courage to shine through. And I bet there are a lot of people here that didn't know all the different things. I didn't know everything Pathways to Peace was up to. So really appreciate that deep dive into the impactful work that you're having, from the UN to the girls' shelter on the ground. This is a vast contribution and beautiful and so good. So thank you, Tej, for sharing that and continuing the legacy of Pathways to Peace. You touch and inspire us all. And I love that the girls' shelter started as a mission, John Raymer. I know you love that too. And these missions are empowered. When we look at what's taken place over the last few years, now the manifestation of the girls' shelter. We did the Dubai Convergence at COP30, the first ever faith pavilion. That started as a mission in 2004. The real things come from people coming and declaring their missions in this 99-day period. So we're going to get to that in a little bit. I think, John, it would be a perfect time for us to bring up that question, the engagement question. I think segueing from Tez, magnificent presentation, Tez. Thank you so much again.
One thing that I just want to acknowledge about Tez Ali is the work amazing. And it's great that it began as a mission, but that she acknowledged that. Just want to point out that virtue, that we need that with each other, authentic recognition, to honor what is working. And that you said that you took a moment to make that point. That's the kind of way of operating with each other that makes it possible for us to really realize we are surrounded by amazing people doing amazing things who are cheering all of us on. We got to do this together. Thank you for that. All right, let me bring up the Mentimeter. All right, so get ready here. This is the question of the day, right? If truth, beauty, and goodness. Here we go, showing my screen. So let's get everyone settled here. I know it's a little unsettling at first to use this stuff. There is a QR code that you can use with your phone. If you're uncomfortable with that, there's also, I'm going to put in the chat, just a link, and go and answer this question. If truth, beauty, and goodness were restored as guiding forces in our world, what would change? So let me, if I can, how do I not stop sharing by here? Put it in the chat.
Whilst you're doing that, I'm just saying good night. See you soon. See you next week. Lovely to see you then. Have fun still. And Kara's here as well now, so that's great. Thank you, Kara.
Thanks, Anna Marie. Welterusten.
Welterusten.
And so as we gather, this is what we put down. We're invited to imagine a different world, one where truth, beauty, and goodness, not just ideals, but guiding forces in how we live, lead, and relate. So take a moment to reflect and answer this question from the heart. Your voice matters. Let's dream this together. And like I said, you can use the QR code or the link that's in the chat. I know Becky can help with this too. Just keep that link easy for folks. There we go. We're starting to see the answers. Now, some of you know that we've been doing this as a practice, and we're going to do this during the co-creation circles to really listen and experience what the coherence that comes. It's common sense. You'll see it in front of your eyes here, where each of us bring our own perspective, but then we can bring it together into a paragraph that really speaks to us. And if it doesn't, we could say, no, it's missing that, and update to achieve a kind of consensus. Now I'm going to hide the QR code here just so that you guys can see everything that's there. I'm just going to keep scrolling down. Becky, maybe you can read with me. What are we seeing on the screen here? What are some of the answers?
We're seeing lots of activity. I'm grabbing the link. I had to grab it from my phone, so it's taking me a second to grab it. I'm going to put it in the chat for everyone. Hang on.
While you're doing that, a new era of light and life would be born. That's what would change. Love, light, human rights, and more. Oneness and autonomy. Governance and finance would be fair for all. We would nurture personal development and nature connection in everyone. Now, does that mean nurture? We would nurture personal development and nature connection in everyone. That's how
I like
read.
that. Nature connection, nurture and nature. How many responses have we had now?
See 17.
Great. I see more people are on the page, and I put the link in the chat if the QR code isn't working for you. I see women would be fully respected, honored, and uplifted in all ways. Everybody would have access to, if suffering plus meaning plus action equals purpose, someone wrote.
Oh, that's interesting. Like that. We would start to remember who we are and what we are here to do. We would honor our interconnectedness and our individual contributions to our collective table. A benign virus of love would conquer the world. Oh my gosh.
That's the kind of contagious we want.
Yes.
Love contagion.
So,
Magic. A harmonious flow of life connected to the mystery and magic of all life. No more struggle, yet possibility and creativity, ease. What is that? John, did we lose your audio? Is everybody else hearing
far
John?
away. It is our human birthright, born of
John, did we lose your audio? John, can you hear me? We can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Summer started her Peloton ride. Okay.
Oh, did it pick up the audio? And you're in Summer's ear. We're reading to Summer. We're reading all this beauty to Summer while she's.
Reciprocity, medicine, prayer, practice. Are you hearing me now? Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
This is a world I don't mind going to. Boy, I heard the news today. Oh boy. True joy in the air. Truth eliminates suspicion. Arts would flourish. Magic. A harmonious flow of life connected to the mystery and magic of all life. No more struggle, yet possibility and creativity. I cannot wait to summarize these and see what common sense we are. Cammie's dad, can I address you for a moment? Cammie's dad there. Okay, what are we doing next? Remind me. I could keep reading these things for another hour here.
Well, John, I think Becky's going to take us into breakouts and we're going to talk about the missions. Well, I think you're going to set up the missions again. We're going to talk about them. People still got time to declare them.
Yes.
It's a very important part of it. I will just reiterate for everybody. Also, Scott Katamas has got a Awakening World on Saturday, which is going to be dedicated to World Unity Week. We want to make sure everyone knows about that. From in World Unity Week, from the 22nd through to the 28th, the two plenary sessions at 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern time, and they'll be here in room 1. That's the best place to come and catch it. Kami's not going to miss it. She'll be tuning in. But it's going to be here in room 1. You got the plenaries, the visionary voices, Cara Stonehouse is going to be facilitating the AM, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. session. And John, you'll be doing the PM. And it's going to be a great place to come. You know, rather than 30 rooms running all at once, this year it's all in room one. And we're just really kind of streamlined. And the idea of less is kind of more for us now at World Unity Week. So because it's launching the 99 days, because it's launching the missions, the season of truth, beauty, goodness, we just encourage everyone to come and spread the word. Schedule will be up in a few days. The posters will be out in a few days. And 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. Eastern time every day. If you can, come together and be in the plenary. What's being shared through the plenaries is profound and inspiring, and I really wouldn't want you to miss it. And then the engagement sessions, what Cara is doing with the journey. We could probably invite Cara to say a few words, John, about what she's going to do, and then we can talk about the co-creation circles that you're going to do in the PM slot.
Yeah, let's do that. I have it ready to go. Cara's ready to go. Let her go first.
Yeah, since I'm the morning, I can go first. That makes sense. And yeah, so the morning there'll be the plenary. We'll start at 10 a.m. Eastern with the pre-recorded content that Ben is creating now with amazing speakers. And then we'll go into the engagement session. And so in the morning sessions, we're going to go on a whole journey that's really about us as a community, really building our movement together, building our coherence together as a movement. So we're going to go through the different capacities that these types of movements need to have and work on them together and meet each other more and really get to know all these people in these boxes. Some of them I know, some of them I don't, but we're going to really get to have a lot of time together. So the first day, we're going to really embody the purpose together, the purpose of one world, of this World Unity Week and this whole movement that we're all in together. So we're going to just seep in that with some ceremony and sharing with each other. And then the second day will all be about our personal coherence with the mission. So we'll do some speed dating with each other. So we've learned about what are all everyone just getting in touch with their own personal mission and hearing from others as well and amplifying each other in that. And then the third day is all about wise relating. And so we'll talk about how do we deal with tensions in our community? How do we deal with diversity and inclusion? So we'll have some of those discussions and make plans together and be like, oh yeah, what if we do have who are the peacekeepers in our group that we can go to when we're having trouble, and let's set up frameworks and let's make plans, together as a community so that we're building our community like that. And then the fourth day will be all about fun, nurturing our culture through play and humor and open mic time of us just really having an enjoyable time together. So you can bring something that you might have put in a convergence room before, something short that you want to offer in that's beautiful. So bring your beauty and joy and humor that day. And then the fifth day will be about where we're co-creating the social architecture is what we call it at the Hague Center, about how are we all seeing the whole together? How are our strategies starting to align as a whole, as a one body that's moving together? How do we get into coherence around that and be aligning? So just some of those conversations. And then how are we embodying that collective intelligence that's coming from source through us and being coherent as a community. And then the sixth day will be about our voice, our collective voice together. What's the Conscious Media Lab? What's the story that we're telling? What do we want to contribute and share around that? And then finally, the last day will be about our future, our next steps, our missions. So really this is really about us building ourselves up and building a movement that will last and be really effective into the future, and using the magic of coherence to do that. So do come in great numbers, and we'll be in breakout rooms and plenaries and ceremonies.
Cara, that's fantastic. And doesn't that sound great, John? And Cara's done a mountain of work on this and been preparing this for the last, where did she go? She disappeared. Been preparing this for the last couple of months. And so we really encourage people to engage with. This is an opportunity to use our time wisely. Yes, the visionary voices are amazing and they are all super inspiring. But the real question is, what next? What do we do next? And we had some discussions about what to call the journey that Cara was creating, and really decided, that movement building was the energy. And because when you look at it, If you just look at what Tez just shared about Pathways to Peace and their 40-year legacy, you look at what's happening with the evolutionary leaders and the synergy circles and the impact and the evolution that's taking place there. Look at the continued growth of One World, the emergence of the Hollow Movement, what Steve Farrell is doing at Humanities Team, what Jude Caravan is doing in so many different spaces, what the Hague Center is. If you add it all and Purpose Earth and all together, yes, we have that opportunity here. And there are 10,000 other groups and organizations or platforms that we haven't named or connected with yet. So there is an opportunity to treat this as movement building beyond any organization, beyond any platform, but inclusive of all the ones that are pulling the same direction of truth, beauty, goodness. And so Kara's done a great job. We encourage everybody to go to those 10 a.m. sessions. And the first kind of half of it will be experiencing the visionary voices, and the second half of it will be this beautiful facilitated experience live. And the first part of it, you watch live in the Zoom room, and then you're into the engagement session. So, Kara, thank you for coming and sharing that. It's close to midnight where you are, and you got young kids, so, great commitment. And we really appreciate you doing this every day through World Unity Week. From 10 a.m. Then isn't there school drop off and pick off? That's like 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Central European time to 6 p.m. Central European time. So that's a big commitment from you. And we really appreciate you and the Hague Center for Global Governance, which is a co-producer of World Unity Week, stepping in to do that. Thank you. And then John is going to do the 6 p.m. slot. Awesome. And you've been developing these co-creation circles for a little while. So let's talk a little bit about that. And then Victoria Friedman, we want to call on you to tell us about your program in World Unity Week. But John, take us into the CCCs.
Yeah. So we have really grateful again for the wisdom that Patricia has brought about this idea of a ceremony for change, how we make change. And what we're doing here is these 7 themes, okay? So I'm going to show you this and put this in the document. This is for the co-creation circles for 2025. And whether you declare a mission or not, come. You could be joining a mission. There's no right or wrong role that you're to play in all this, right? But we're creating a space for everyone to bring their missions forward or to come and discover the missions that are being engaged with. So here's what's going on. We've done this work, and it was amazing when I went back to look at the insight that we gained last year. I'm going to show you how we're capturing that here. So these are the 7 ones. If you remember, beyond borders, unity and diversity and compassion, building bridges, global collaboration for peace and equity, sustaining our planet, practices for environmental resilience, ethics and innovation, technology for human flourishing, inclusive futures, powering diversity and social justice, education revolution, unlocking potential for all, and unified evolution, harmonizing collective wisdom. And we're saying that these, and what we've done here is we've put a form together that takes what we did last year. I'll show you this. It was amazing. For each of them, remember, we named what's out of balance. We named the root cause. And then we started to empty together. And that process of emptying is one of the key things that we don't have in our culture, safe and supportive places. You could feel it even in this call here when we realize the challenges we're facing. If we could empty about the fear, the existential fear, the apocalyptic fear, to get to that empty place where we could start to put a vision forward for what's possible in that pathway. So for each of those 7, we summarize what we saw as what was out of balance. We saw what the root cause is, what the vision is, and the pathways. And we came up with what I'm calling a generative question. And I've never seen a group do this before. So here's an example in the theme of Beyond Borders, Unity and Diversity. Given our shared understanding of the divisions that persist and the vision of a world united in compassion and diversity, what insights, lived experiences or practices can you offer that would help us deepen our ability to transcend borders and live into this unity? And we really want to get at what's the stuff that we know that works. We did that for each of the 7. Summarize what was out of balance, the root cause, the vision, the pathway, and then a generative question. reflecting on the barriers to collaboration, our vision of equitable global partnerships. What example or idea can you share that helps us better understand how we might build trust and foster radical cooperation across differences? So that's, and you can answer 7 of them if you want, or just one of them. We want to hear from you. So this is all part of this, which is in the World Unity Week space, an invitation to all who are called to step into this reverent journey of 7 co-creation circles. But I want to show you where you put your mission one more time. So right up here, Sacred Confluence, missions. And this is kind of an introduction, but if you just click on Discovery, there's this one article that spells it out. And a bunch of you have been doing it. I'm getting those missions. Thank you for doing that. Here's the steps. Declare your purpose statement and your mission here. And submit that. Then what happens? You get an email back with a link to that Google Doc. You can review it. You can edit it. And then we want to put it up and publish it as a post inside One World. It looks like these steps here. You fill out the form. You get back an email with a link to your mission plan, Google Doc. Then you put that up as an article inside One World. So here, you want to see your mission? That's the form that you'll fill out. Should be coming up in a second here. Propose One World mission. So if you need help to do this, we've got a session tomorrow. Becky and I and Ingrid and Karen will be at. It's really not a lot of fields, but it's a chance for you to make yourself known. It was so beautiful to hear Tezekiah saying, hey, it started as a mission. There's an act in which we make ourselves known, not just our own individual purposes, but what it is that we're doing, what we believe, what we're called to do in a way that's so that. So there you
Beautiful,
go.
John. For those of you who are new to us, I put in the chat a link to One World that John was just showing. That's our mighty network of like-hearted humans here, many of us already members there. And so you're all invited to join us there, where we list our missions, where we also list all of our events, including what John just mentioned, the Hub Huddle, that will be at 6 p.m. Eastern. And if you're new to us, we speak aloud most of the time. We do our best to remember to speak aloud times in Eastern time zone, because we're a global community here. We had to pick one time to unite us all. And when you're on One World, though, the times will appear in your own time zone for you. But I just wanted to point a couple of those things out, because I know if you are new here, it can be confusing, and we want to make it as painless as possible for you to join us. So just to presence those things with and for everyone.
And, Becky, I just want to say I'm so grateful to like Shonda and you and the people that are really welcoming and supportive of each other. We have an incredible, beautiful community of people that are dedicated not just to their own thing, but to uplifting everyone. Thank you, Shonda. Thank you for everything you've done. Thank you to Ingrid. Thank you, you, Kara. Just it's beautiful to see that when we come together, we are better together.
Magnificent. Thank you, John. Thank you, Becky. And the co-creation is the partnership has been such a fundamental aspect of World Unity Week since the beginning. And Scott Katamas and the Awakening World has been just an ideal partnership. He dedicated multiple shows every year to the lead up to World Unity Week, to the Saturday that it kicks off, and often the Saturday where it closes. And Scott, you are a model of how to collaborate effectively and wisely with a good heart and with good strategy. We love the Awakening World and the Global Peace Tribe. So tell us, on Saturday, we've got something coming up where we're dedicating the whole show.
We do. This is our 6th year in a row that we've collaborated with you, from when we started. And so it's always what we like to do is preview what's going to be coming up. And so I'm actually, if you'd make me co-host, I'll show a poster. So as always, we provide music, live music, as well as presentations. And so this Saturday night, we're going to, of course, Irina is going to be really our co-host, kind of helping my audience learn how to navigate and do the missions and all that. John and Summer are going to bless us with their presence and also help preview what's going to be happening on June 21st. Becky is going to send a little special pre-record in, And we've got some great music. I think all of you by now know Tatiana Speed. So Tatiana is going to be with us providing music. And I met her through you, Ben. You first introduced Tatiana to me, so thank you for that. And some of you may not know our other musical artist is Kirjot Kaur. She does beautiful, beautiful kirtan. She's been on the show a couple times. Omashar is still in England, and let's all send some love. He's with his ailing mum, so we send love to Omashar. And he'll be back in about 1 week, but he'll be missing Saturday night's show. And it's always great for all of you to come on, join us, and share your missions. Those of you that join us on the Awakening World on Saturday night, please share your missions with us, so we can hold that vision, hold that focus. And I'll put the Zoom room into the chat box, and it's open to everybody. Anybody who's watching this call right now, please come on in 6 o'clock Pacific time and join us this Saturday night. And by the way, tonight on the Awakening World, because we also are Wednesday nights, Pato and Antoinette are our special guests. And they're going to be sharing amazing footage of what they're doing in Africa. And I'll put that poster into the chat box as well. So hope to see you tonight with Pato and Antoinette, and of course on Saturday night. And always, and thank you, Ben, for the time.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Scott. That looks like a great program tonight with Pato and Antoinette. And then on Saturday with the gang there, as World Unity Week kicks off early on the Awakening World this Saturday. Thank you to Irina, who's going to be on there, and John and Summer and everyone who's there flying the flag to really, cast a wide net for bringing people to World Unity Week in 2025. Truth, beauty, goodness. It couldn't get much more attractive than that. So thank you, brother. Thank you for doing that. And we've had some amazing responses to people wanting to create programs, particularly programs of beauty, the music and the art. Keep your eye out for what Kristen Hoffman and David Lorimer are doing. I think it's the 24th of June. It's Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. It's going to be a live one. But we also have a magnificent poetry offering from Victoria and Ron Friedman from the Vista Method. And Victoria is here with us today. Tell us, we'll bring you up, Victoria, if we can hear a little bit about what you have prepared for World Unity Week, and what was your inspiration?
Well, of course, Ron and I love to be on World Unity Week every year. And then we heard the theme, and it was, truth and beauty and goodness. And of course, we were delighted and thrilled. First of all, I just want to say we've been working on a book for a year, a poetry book, a poetry art book with my doodling and Ron's poetry. And it's going to launch in August. And so we have been so involved in truth, beauty, and goodness. And so we are putting together a presentation where we've invited people to do poetry. And they're not necessarily the most famous poets in the world. They're people who have just an incredible breadth of creativity, people that have that sense of truth and beauty and goodness, as all of us have. So one of them is Ben Bowler. So you will be hearing original poetry from Mr. Ben Bowler. And then we have Dot Maver. I don't know if you all know Jennifer Hill, very unusual woman. Guest star from the Earth Stage Actors, Susan Kaplan. Oh, I can't remember everybody. And let's see, Brian is going to be on there. And I wanted to say something about doing these poems and how poetry and beauty and art and music have been here always. Always. And our experience, and Ron and my experience, truth, beauty, and goodness is always here, has always been here. It's not something new. Everybody has a sense of it. What is that sense? We're human beings, human, definitely. There's a lot of human stuff going on that's not so good, but being. That's where the goodness is. That's where the beauty is. That's where the truth is. And everybody's being here. I think everybody's being. Is anybody not being? Have you ever not been being? Ever? We're all being. We were being when we were 2. We were being when we were 70. We were being when we're 40. So we just want to highlight that the search for that truth, that beauty, and that goodness is within us. It is our very nature. And all we need to do is just, for one moment, get away from our mind and the activity going on and just feel into ourselves, just the being, just the aliveness, just being here now, you know. So we're going to be having music meditations and beautiful poems, and Ron and I will do a little bit of sharing of our new book with the doodles in it. And we're just delighted to do this. Oh, also we did this with Derek Grimm, and Derek has recorded us in Riverside. He wanted to take the whole thing up a whole scale in terms of production. So that's been really fun, learning more about the media situation, how to bring things back, bring things forth that have a different quality. So we're just very, very grateful for this opportunity. It's what we love to do. And it's really it's just a vision because it's our 60th wedding anniversary in June. And so we'll be smiling with all of you.
Wow. Is that diamond? What is the 60th wedding anniversary? Is that
I think it's nothingness.
Very good. Very good. Well, Victoria, thank you. Delightful that you're doing this, and wonderful to have you with us. I have your, and that program is going to play on Wednesday, the 25th at 10 a.m. Eastern. And so Cara will be facilitating the watch party of that, and then the engagement session after it, which is going to be wonderful. I mentioned earlier that it's been amazing doing all the pre-records over the last couple of days. And I want to bring Dr. Kurt Johnson forward, who's here with us. Kurt, it's great to have you with us. I want to do a shout out to Drew Blanton, who's here as well. Drew, brother, great to have you here with us. But Kurt, it's just so amazing when you get I've had a small glimpse over the last few days of the panorama of all that's unfolding, from the Holler movement to the deep and rapid transformational convergence to humanity's team, to the synergy circles of the evolutionary leaders, to all these amazing things, kind of stepping for a moment into your daily perspective, I think. But Kurt, tell us a little bit about, what's unfolding for you. We're approaching the middle of 2025. We're on the eve of World Unity Week, the solstice, the 99 days. That leads to all these other things, the September peace celebrations, which are going to be huge this year, Global Oneness Summit, which is growing. That movement to get Global Oneness Day adopted by the UN is a serious effort. We see that the International Day of Peace now is commemorated by more than 3 billion people are aware of the IDP. Big things are unfolding, and you're at the center of many of them. Tell us a little bit, Kurt, about what you're seeing.
Well, thanks, Ben, and it's great to be here with everybody, because World Unity Week is really one of the flagships of all of this. And deeper than that, if you go back to when Ben and I and others first started Unity Earth, I had to check the 2015, I believe it was. Actually, Ben and everything that he did with the early convergences, the one that we did in New York, Toronto, the one in Australia, the 2 in Australia, and on and on and on. But the whole vision that Ben had of getting people together and getting them to co-create in this emergent phenomenon where just one match lights off another and one match lights off another, that phenomenon has just amped up over the last 5 to 10 years that we've been doing this. And it's really reached now a kind of a high tide, where what we used to be pioneering with trying to get people to do the kinds of thing that John's talking about and John's doing, where you're just mixing and matching and pairing up, and you're taking this energy and connecting it to this energy and these resources connected to that, and it just gins up. So it's interesting that just at the time that Gavin Newsom was saying last night, the time that we've been dreading has arrived, then there's another sense in which the time that we've been dreaming of has arrived. And those of us who are in a partnership consciousness and in a deep spirituality that knows there isn't anything that's separate and there is no other, we're really starting to see the high tide of what it means to partner and work together and generate resources, excitement, inspiration, and direction together. So everywhere you look, like what I put into the chat, which is the Evolutionary Leaders version of all the upcoming events, and it's kind of a cavalcade of all the things that are going on. It just, I think, what a lot of us have a lot to be happy about and a lot to be, in that sense, proud of, because we've been on this, beating this drum for a long time. So I would just say a huge congratulations to Ben and to Unity Earth and World Unity Week, and then what's become One World, and everything that John is doing. And my God, what he's doing with Global Citizen is so promising. So that's kind of it. I mean, there's no way that you can be involved in this landscape and not be inspired and not be excited. So I'm just glad I had a chance to drop in and join you for your last big assembly before it's kickoff time for World Unity Week. And the ELs have done 2 programs. We've done one for you with Diane, Deborah, and I, and we're doing another with the Media Collaboratory on partnership. So you'll enjoy those. And enough said, because you got lots of guests, and back to Ben.
Well, Kurt, thank you. And there's a lot more that you could say, of course. There's so many great things that are, it's beautiful. And Rianne Eisler, the program, I think is going to be early October, all around her legacy, her work, and from the domination paradigm to the partnership paradigm. So we're excited to be featuring that in World Unity Week as well. There's more going on than anyone could possibly imagine. And recently, Linda DeHart, not too long ago, connected me to a gentleman who publishes this magnificent, beautiful, I might just turn my background off for a second to show you this, because they really are exceptional. High quality print magazines called the Care First World. And Lewis has been publishing this. His whole intention here is he's in a fishing village in Scotland. And he wants to take all of the global transformational work and publish it in a tangible magazine. They've done 5 editions now, the most recent one featuring the Goy Peace Foundation. But his whole theory is if he can get the language to work for his fishing village in Scotland, where he publishes the magazine, then he'll know that he's breaking through to between the language of the transformational community and kind of regular everyday world consciousness. And I think that's very, very interesting and exciting. It's been great. Last night I had a long talk to Lewis. He's featuring Unity Earth in the next edition. Linda, thanks to you. So your persistence in connecting and bringing it all together. But amazing things are continuing to unfold, and there's so much beauty emerging and developing. So I want to give you a chance. The Wings of the Heart are a iconic expression of truth, beauty, and goodness, unity in diversity, a celebration in the making. So Linda, wanted to give you an opportunity to share with us at this most auspicious moment.
Well, you're catching me by surprise, but what's this surprise going to bring into this world? There is an incredible uplift that I'm feeling as this particular year is converging for Unity Earth, and because I guess I run it through the lens of these past 40 years of my working for bringing the flags of one family into the world. And so I felt the rhythms of the ups and downs. And this year is really different. And it started with the International Day of Peace last September. And it just seemed to be rolling and flowing and lifting up. It's the rise. And so you can see it through the activities that are coming, the quality of the activities that are coming out to be felt in our beings, in our hearts, because what we're doing is making it real. We're bringing out the intangible and we're making it visible. And I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm so excited about the next issue of the Care First World magazine. It is going to be really putting a lot of attention on what Unity Earth is doing. And because it's time for people all over the world to recognize
the collective that has been brewing here in this circle. Or is it 10 years, 12? How many years, Ben?
It depends when you start, but it certainly, as Kurt was talking about, the emergence of Unity Earth as Unity Earth was really 2016. So next year will be our 10 years. But
Okay.
there were things going on before that, which was sort of building up to it.
Yeah. So there is a birthing, and then there is the coming into form. And that's what's happening now. I mean, it's real, it's pulsating. Thank you for bringing me on to say that. I didn't know what I'd say, because you put me on the spot.
Thank you.
Linda is going to be at Solstice Live. She's going to be with us and the Solstice ceremony in New York.
Well, the Flag to One family are going to be flying there. So tell us about 21st of June, John. What's it going to look like? How do people tune in? What's going to be happening?
Well, it's amazing. Well, you're going to be hosting it, right? We have Solstice Live that day, but it is a ceremony, and it's just the way it's turning out, the way we were dreaming it. Now, Kara may still be there. She's probably in bed, but Amsterdam, and where the water ceremony is going to begin. Solstice this year is launching Solstice Unites. And in Corlier's Hook Park in Lower Manhattan, and it's so great that Harry's here, because we're not only doing ceremonies, ancestral cleansing and healing and reciprocity, but we're putting forward solutions. So the Earth Bank Fund, the Earth Pass, these ideas are really germinating now into expressions of unified action, the head, the heart, and the hands. So that day, we're going to have a ceremony in Corlier's Hook Park, this ancestral ceremony for, ancestral cleansing, healing, and reciprocity. And then in LA with the Chumash people. That's coming together. So that dream, and it's a Jubilee year. What's amazing, it's the 175th anniversary of Los Angeles when it was incorporated. And LA is so in our world right now. And what's going on there? New York's 400th anniversary. It's Amsterdam's 750th anniversary. It's the 80th anniversary of the atomic bomb. This is the year. This is the year for us to unify in unprecedented ways and actually take what's in our hearts and put it into our hands, into action. I would love to hear from you, Harry, and the importance of really addressing the money in the world. I mean, in the end, we see it all comes down to the money. And we need a new, different, better way of dealing with reciprocity. Like Patricia would say, if you put Mother Earth at the financial table, her voice would be one of reciprocity. It can't be all take and no give. And that's the very essence of what Brand Earth and what the Earth Pass represent, is a way to reimagine our finances in this Jubilee year. So good to have you, Harry.
Thank you to be here. I would only say this, my relationship with John, I can only say that John is John and the Beanstalk, the seeds that have been seeded here, that have collectively over the past few years come together to be at this moment. The pregnancy here is overwhelming. The birthing process we're at the eve of this. And I find internally this moment of how much time and energy that we all have been together with, that it's coming to fruition. And this notion of the money challenge is so extraordinary at this point that the extractive volume of money still continues to grow. And we have a shorter view of how much we have to correct this. And the opportunity lies here at this point where everybody on the planet could participate in this breath of fresh air, that they can participate in the change that we seek, literally the change that we seek, the funding from the change that we seek. So all of this is coming to fruition. And anyone that hears about this, they want to hear more. And the next is how. And that's what I feel is coming to be present over the next week and the next few months. This relationships that we have spawned with other people that John has been in tune with. And I believe that this is the next few steps in the next few months that would be a great reveal for all of us.
Maybe so. Thank you, Harry. Thank you, John. We're looking forward to the 21st.
Now, one thing, this gives everyone, I want to show you the summary of what we just did here.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So I took a minute and I put it together, and there were 37 responses. Okay. Now, Ben, is Becky here and Irina still here?
I think Becky's definitely here. Irina might have.
Yes.
Okay, good. So why don't you, Becky, read the first one, then you, Ben, then you, Harry, and then maybe you, Dr. Casey. You can read the last one. Okay, I'm going to show you my screen. You'll see what I'm talking about. It's like a reveal. I love when we do it like this. So this is our voice. There isn't any one voice here. All right, Becky, you're up first. Make sure I got it. Here we go. Here was the question. If truth, beauty were restored as guiding forces in our world, what would change?
So what you did, John, was you gathered all of our 40 answers, right? And you generated this, right? From the 40 answers.
Right,
So
this-
restoring, right?
Yeah,
Restoring.
no tweaking on my part. This is exactly how I got back from. I took it out of Mentimeter and put it into ChatGPT to just be transparent, and wrote a little prompt that says, "Hey, summarize this into one paragraph." Then I broke it into these 4 sentences. Okay, go ahead.
Restoring truth, beauty, and goodness would spark a sweeping inner and outer renaissance. Hearts would awaken to empathy, compassion, and joy, dissolving othering and cultivating a beloved global community that honors every life and the living earth.
Harry?
War, poverty, and exploitation would fade into museum pieces as governance, finance, and economies realign around fairness, reciprocity, and the golden rule.
Hey, Ben.
Children would grow up safe, nourished, and inspired. Arts and innovation would flourish, and each person's unique gifts will be celebrated as essential threads in a vibrant multicultural tapestry.
Dr. Casey, give us in short.
In short, humanity would step into its shared destiny, a harmonious world of wonder, purpose, and co-creative stewardship, where heaven on earth is everyday reality.
Wow. This is us. This is us.
Just to give you the context, Marty, that was a question that was asked, and we had 40 answers that were given by the community here. And this is a synthesis of those responses. So this is us speaking. Beautiful. Beautiful. Live truth, beauty, goodness. Let it light the way. May it light the way and lead us home. And it's perfect to have Marty here, just building upon that. And, Marty, what's unfolding in St. Louis on the ground, there's real need, real suffering, real gaps there that you've been spoken to you a few times over the last week. And you've been not sleeping, but running from church to shelter to fundraiser and, chasing support financially for the very real world needs of what's taking place in St. Louis in the aftermath of the hurricane. I always get them mixed up, but that took place. Tornado. Sorry. And it's great to have you here with us today, Marty. How are you doing? You look good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel good. I'm tired, but I feel really good because I think when you just really doing God's work and you get it, you just, I don't know, you have the tenacity to push through things that you probably would normally be able to push through. And so I'm finding myself being very physically active right now, very mentally challenged, and but spiritually rewarded in a major, major way. And one of the things that I want to just tag on what John and Harry was just speaking about in terms of funding. I jumped in to do this work and building a center with absolutely no strategy, no funding, just not knowing where anything was going to come from. And we're at a place now where we are turning things away because we have like a limited space and where we're putting things or what have you. And so the abundance is there. And I believe that shift happened when I started to look at the need of the people and understanding how do we call down the need? How do we spread out what we have to where it meets the needs of most, if not all? And that is almost like in a recycling effect. And that's what I've been building out, and I'm calling this a community share. And through this community share, we're asking people whatever they have a lot of, if they can give a little bit of what they off of their a lot and bring that into the space, and then that attaches to other things, and before you know it, everybody has what they need. But I also wanted to, in response to, like I said, Harry and John, I had to understand what money really is. Money is energy. It's simply energy. We call money a resource. Money has the ability to be used like a resource. But when we think about money and the exchange of it, we're exchanging energy. And so when I started looking at it from a positive aspect and not from lack, but looking at it as this is what's needed right now to do this, every single day, I kid you not, somebody walks through that door and they give me whatever it is I've been thinking about. I kid you not. I've even asked to take pictures with them because I wanted to show you all in the space. And they're like, no, we're not doing it for that. We just want to give. From food, today I got a desk. Today I got an office chair. Today I got another rolling rack. Today I received so much food to probably feed at least 50 families or what have you. And then yesterday, this weekend, the Red Cross showed up with 2 truckloads full of stuff. Then we found out that FEMA is on the president hasn't signed off on FEMA for anybody, but he signed off for it for Missouri. And so just an abundance. And I'm talking about millionaires and billionaires are coming through to see my center, and they're wondering, like, how can they be a part of this? Now, I have not asked them for a check yet, because I don't think I have to ask. I think what I need to do right now, because St. Louis is known for, Missouri is called the show me state. I think I'm in that aspect where I just need to show them what it is we're doing, show them that we're serious about humanity, show them that we care about people. And when they see that, Harry and John, I just believe that check will be written. And so I am looking at money. If anybody else want to join me on this ride, let's change and shift our mindset to looking at money as energy. And how do we push that energy forward? How do we lift each other up in that energy field? How do we connect in that energy field together so we are all sharing in an abundance? I just truly believe that, and just changing my mindset in the last 2 weeks, I've seen more than enough come through. So I'm blessed. We're blessed. Ben, don't worry about anything. Come August, brother, it's all going to be paid for and taken care of. And you can't get me to say anything different, because that's my mindset. That's what I believe. And that's the energy field I'm in.
All right. Well, Marty, there's something happening in St. Louis. There's something happening in Missouri. And I just want to, let everybody know again, in 2 months, we're going to be there. In 2 months, we will be there with Marty at Ferguson, at the Peace Pole, at the Arch, and then on to this incredible 3-day deep dive retreat at Unity Village. And you're all invited to come. We'll put the links in the chat. Bookings are open now. The early bird will end on the last day of World Unity Week. The 28th of June is the end of the early bird. So make sure you get in there. If you can connect directly with Irina. But something very special is coming together and activating. You can feel it building up and preparing exactly with what Marty is sharing there right now. So come to Fields of Healing in Missouri. We're all gathering in the heart of the Dove there. And it seems like, Marty, that something in your city is breaking through. And it sounds like you're on the cusp of that breakthrough as well, as we reimagine our relationship to resources, to abundance, to vitality, to health, and to living in the kingdom. We have to prepare the way.
Absolutely. Listen, Ben, let me tell you this seriously. I was late getting on this call. My plan was to be on here at 4 o'clock, but I was calling because I saw that there was an inconsistency in one of my bills. So I had to call, and then the person couldn't help me. I had to get to the supervisor. You know how that goes. They owe me $943. That check's on its way, right? So when I tell you, I mean, it may not sound like a big deal to somebody else, but when they would have been charging me a certain amount of money every month, come to find out they shouldn't be charging me, and now they owe me. We are in this energy field together. Let's move this money and understand money is only a resource. It is not our energy. It's not who we are. The energy of who we are is the money. That's the money. And we're all billionaires. I'm claiming it.
You're claiming it. You're claiming it. And one person who's coming to St. Louis is Kate McNamara. Marty, I'm going to bring her up to say a few words. But just seeing the transformation in Marty, I think, is incredible. You are evolving and going from one level to the next level. And you're dragging us all with you, Marty. So that's a beautiful thing as we get ready to meet in the middle. Meet in the middle. Meet in the middle of the 99 days. Meet in the middle of the United States. Meet in the middle of heaven and earth. So, Kate,
Love it.
Great to bring you forward with Marty. There's a great connection here that's coming together. What are you feeling, Kate?
Oh, it's just beautiful and humbling to be here with you all today. But the feeling when I think of the solstice and everything, my whole consciousness just goes to St. Louis and the gathering. There's something phenomenal building that, it's just happened, and there's just been a roll every week of from visions to what I'm receiving. And, part of my mission is the devotion to know that we can all heal. And it's like the symbology of meeting ourselves, humanity, where we're at in our suffering, right in the grassroots of where we're at, to acknowledge that, to go enter that portal of healing, and the portal of great change is what I always saw it as. And it's the acknowledgement of our healing in the depth, like our ancient healing, our whole path, our whole journey in our human form, and to remember that we are human and we are divine. And so as we journey together, and at the Unity Retreat Center, I just keep seeing this vision and hearing it, that those who are gathered, it's like a representation of all of us gathering. And as we come through that portal into it feels like the sacred womb, the void of the cosmic mother, it's like we're all stars birth. But as we come together, there feels like this incredible anchoring. And in the silence, spaciousness, there feels to be this incredible invocation, activation, ignition of light that feels so profound. It's beyond words. So something in this, like the leading up to this, the incredible work that so many beings are doing across the globe is just so inspiring. And this ignition of light is like it just explodes out. So something's happening here beyond our imaginations, beyond what our minds might be seeing as possible, but it's so real. So all these pieces seem to be coming together and weaving, just showing this path so clearly. So Dr. Marty, I just feel last time you joined and I just felt your energy, and I just feel this ancient connection with you, and this connection with all of us that are coming together. The flights are booked, got the visa.
Coming to St. Louis.
I'm coming to St. Louis. Yeah, so it's just beautiful.
Kate, that was amazing.
It's going to be amazing. We're
Go
going to
ahead,
be
Mike.
by the Peace Pole. We're going to be under the arch, and we're going to be by the Mississippi River. And the church and then I got to bring you all to the center, Ben. That just goes without saying. We got to come and do a photo op at the center.
We can't meet in the middle without going to the center.
We gotta go to the church. But listen, I gotta tell you about this. This is the church that I grew up in. I've been a member there since I was 5 years old. Next year it'll be 50 years that I've been in membership at that church.
African Methodist Episcopal.
Yes, AME. It is the oldest AME church west side of the Mississippi River. The oldest. And so it's so divine. There was a lady, I gotta just tell you this real quick. There was a lady that came to the center this weekend, this Friday, I believe it was. And she was a grandmother about my age, and she was crying. She says, the baby is outside crying. I've gone everywhere looking for formula, and they told me to come here. Do you have any formula? And I'm thinking, ooh, I think I may have seen a can or two, but I'm sure by now all the people that's coming to get baby stuff, it would be gone. But I looked and we had 1 can of formula. I felt like God in the fish and the loaves of bread. I mean, it's like we had just enough to feed this baby and to keep this baby, to stop this baby from crying, keep this baby alive. 1 can of formula. So I spoke in church about it on Sunday, told them the same story. And the Red Cross says, don't worry, you will never run out of formula. We will be providing formula for you. As
Truth
long
be
as
to
you stay
goodness.
open.
Right there, Marty. By their fruit shall you know them. Miracles are raining down in Marty K. Casey Town, in St. Louis, and in Missouri, and we can feel it. There's one more voice I want to bring in here, and that is the voice of Reverend Paulette Pipe. Just a few days ago, just totally synchronistically, Paulette made this daily word, and she filmed it from Unity Village. And so I really want to share this. It's just a couple of minutes with everybody. Reverend Paulette Pipe will be a facilitator at the Unity Village section of this Meet in the Middle event.
Hello, my beloveds. Happy Sunday. Every Sunday we come together to share the Daily Word Reflection that's published in the Daily Word magazine by the organization Unity. So today, before we do the Daily Word, I wanted to share with you one of the beauties of Unity Village. This is the Unity Village award-winning Rose Garden and Courtyard with these beautiful fountains and that functioning water tower. Look how beautiful this is. Kansas City, which is a neighbor of Unity Village, is known as the city of fountains. So we have these beautiful water fountains right here. I say we, because I'm a neighbor and I feel like this is part of my backyard as well. But anyway, look at this gorgeous, gorgeous scene. And now I'd like to share with you the daily word for today. And the word is kindness. Kindness. The affirmation says, today I will be kind to others. Today I will be kind to others. When I think of being kind, I am reminded of the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do to you. It takes only a moment and no special effort to be kind. I can smile at a stranger, hold the door for the person behind me, or let someone go ahead of me in the line. These small acts of kindness bless everyone involved. Other kind efforts may take more thought. I think of how I prefer to be treated. I certainly want to be heard and respected. I want to know my views and opinions matter. I want others to see my value and treat me with dignity. I hold this thought as I think of others. I see people imbued with the Spirit of God. Kindness flows from me to bless others. Today's scripture comes from Proverbs chapter 21, verse 21. Whoever pursues righteousness and kindness will find life and honor. Kindness. Today I will be kind to others. And so it is. I plan to share some more of the beautiful spots at Unity Village. But for now, I'm just sending you lots of love and letting you know we'll be back together again for another Daily Word Reflection next time. Love you lots. Bye for now.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful to feel the energy of Paulette and that place and the daily word reflection. Kindness is always the daily word, Marty, isn't it? Beautiful to have Paulette.
I love that so much. You know, is Paulette in here right now? Is she in the room?
She's not here. She's not here. She was here. She just threw the video.
Okay, well then can I bring up my other roommate? Because I have two roomies.
Yes.
And Paulette's one and Becky's the other. Can we bring up Becky?
You bet. Here's Becky.
I just want to brag a little bit that when we go out of town, I have the two best roommates ever. I mean, seriously, think about Paulette and what you just heard from Paulette, and think about Becky and what we know about Becky. I am sandwiched in between two of the greatest God-fearing women from coast to coast. And I love you with my whole heart. And I believe that the energy that has been taken for me to even do this is in the spirit of how you all pour into me, Becky and Paulette, even though she's not here to hear this. But I just want you to know that's how locked in we are when we are in this community share. And the spirit of all of us really bleeds upon the other. And so I just want to thank you for your covering, Becky, as my roomie. You sent someone to come to the center, and I was stepping out to go, I think, to go get lunch for the volunteers. But she came and she says, I'm coming back, Dr. Marty. Becky sent me. That's love. That's so much love.
And she reported beauty back to us this is for the teddy bear project, because we're going to be bringing teddy bears somehow. I don't know how many or when, but we got teddy bear love through Children of the Earth, through Dr. Nina Meyerhoff. But you know, Dr. Marty, you know, I love how you inspire me to like think of the words that we use, of how we describe things. And so like the war culture is locked and loaded. We are locked and loving, you know, like we are locked and loving. And so I'm so grateful, Rumi, my roomie.
My roomie. I love it. I just had to share that out loud. I you know, I don't know who anybody else's roomies are, but I got the best ones on the earth.
All righty. Amazing. Well, speaking of Rumi, I just want to put a plug. Jonathan Granoff's doing his poetry during World Unity Week, and he's going to be bringing in the spirit of Rumi there as well. So there's all different kinds of energies for Rumis. I don't want to go any further without welcoming Brother Drew. We've missed you, Drew, and it's great to have you here with us, brother. How have you been? Can you share with us a little bit about Drew? How's everything going? How are you doing? Get you unmuted. Oh. Can we get you unmuted? There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, Drew. How are you?
Fine, but I've been under a little stress from my gut. And in fact, last time I was here, I think Becky was a witness to it, and she told me to call my dad, and as I was doing it, I think she was doing play-by-play.
Okay. And how are you now?
Well, I'm not exactly sure.
You're not sure how you are now?
No.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. That's a good sign. And it's great to see you, Drew. We see some of your posts on social media and see you doing interesting things in the world. So grateful for you showing up here as we get ready for another World Unity Week coming up, and the solstice and the 99 days and all the beautiful things that are unfolding. It's a brighter place to be with you here, brother. So thank you for coming and joining us.
Well, unfortunately, I haven't rejoined the One World because they did so many stuff that I think that's causing some stress.
Well, that's okay. I mean, we've got to all make choices about where we put our energy and where we show up and where we connect, and it's all okay. If anytime you want to rejoin One World, you can easily do it and show up there. And there's a lot of beautiful things unfolding there now. All the missions that are there, and a lot of good things that are there. But sometimes, and we mentioned this earlier on today's call, in the whole field of collaboration and connection, sometimes we're going to come across things which don't resonate with us. And you know what? That's okay. That's okay. We have the choice at any point to choose where to put our energies and where to put our focus. So, Drew, you're welcome. And, you're free. And so I think that's the beautiful thing.
I think I also got stressed out by the politics.
I get it. There's been some things over the last few years which are really difficult. The lockdown, COVID, the discussions about vaccines, religion, politics. These are things which really inflame our passions, and it can cause a lot of stress. You're absolutely right. But just to let you know that you're not alone in that. I think everybody finds these big divisive conversations a little bit stressful sometimes. Part of the challenge is how do we stay in it? And just like Paulette said, how do we keep respecting ourselves and each other through the process of these big, challenging conversations where it looks like there's a fence and you're either on one side or the other? But how can we employ wisdom to rise above that so that we're not on one side or the other, and we're not sitting on the fence, but we're able to see all of the various perspectives and be at peace with the diversity of viewpoints? And I think that's a very important thing. But the most important thing is that we keep showing up, even when we may feel disagreement. Now, if it gets to a point where we really feel that our views are not respected, then at that point, maybe we need to step away for a little while. I think that's a valid process, brother. I just want you to know that we're all in that together and totally respect your journey through that as well.
Okay.
And Erica is going to come forward and is going to share a little bit as well. But Drew, I just want to say again how great it is to have you with us. I know the politics is challenging. We all feel it, regardless of our viewpoint. We all feel it, and I think for people who might be on the left, I want to speak plainly here. Maybe could do a little better job of understanding what the values and what the perspectives are of people on the right at this time. And I think we can all learn and we can all grow. If we're serious about unity, we all need to do a better job. I think that's fair to say. Eric?
Yeah, I agree, and I agree with John. We need to unify.
Yes, good. Well, that's a great place to begin. Erica, what would you like to say?
First of all, I love all of you so much. And I'm so grateful for this family, for the support I've received from One World, from Unity Earth. There is a film that came across my desk this morning that somehow, some way, I need to find out how to get it out to the rest of the world. For those who don't understand what being transgender really means or how it comes about, this video is a scientific report that was just done and presented at PFLAG National about the entire process from inception to birth and the changes and things that are necessary to happen. And many times they don't happen. And some of us are born in the middle. It's the first time I've seen this presented from a scientific viewpoint. It is the most enlightening films I think I've ever seen on the subject.
What's it called, Erica?
I don't have the name of it right now, Ben, but I want to get it to you. I want to get it to Hubcast, to Peter, to John. I posted it on Facebook this morning. I normally don't post a lot other than about our foundation and the work. When I say our foundation, it's not my foundation. I don't own it. I'm a vessel, a willing vessel. And I am so grateful to be able to be here at 75, almost a few more weeks, to be in service. And that's the mission. But in looking back at myself, to say what's holding me back. So Dr. Marty, thank you for this stuff that you expressed so beautifully.
Love you.
I have a meeting set up tomorrow morning for a return to my own personal coach with Tony Robbins. I have learned so much over so many years because I need to work on me too. I didn't realize until I saw that video today how much healing I have left to do for the shame and guilt that I have carried for 75 years in my life, being born the way I was because I did not fit in. And I need help in getting that video out, so I'm asking for help with that. This is so important, a message right now with so many coming under attack with mistruths, lies, instead of scientific research.
Well, Erica, I just want to say thank you for coming and voicing that. We'll keep an eye out for that and we will spread it far and wide. And friends, we're at the end of our time together. But what a perfect, most perfect way for us to complete today as we have welcomed back our brother Drew, who the politics got too tense and it causing him stressed. So he stepped away and we missed you, brother. And I just want you to know, if we are unable to create a space where everyone here feels welcome and belonging, regardless of who you vote for, regardless of sexuality, religion, culture, nationality, creed, political perspective, if we're unable to create that space here, then what hope have we got? So this is it. And I just want to thank everybody here for your presence. If we keep showing up, when we keep showing up, as we keep showing up, we pave a new way for ourselves and for all and for others. So I want to thank our speakers, our presenters. Mum's got a big operation coming up or process starting next week. We send you all our love. Mum, to you, your courage, your strength. We're all with you. And I just want to thank everyone for your presence. Standing Bear, brother, thank you for being here with us. And thank you everybody for participating on this. Solstice Unites, June 21, World Unity Week, 10 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Eastern, every day through World Unity Week. Be there in the plenary, come here. Let's show up. Let's support the visionary voices and Cara and John, all the wonderful things that are unfolding. For those who want to come and meet in the middle, we're going to St. Louis in 2 months, less than 2 months. So blessings, everybody. Gratitude, peace, beauty, truth, and love. Mum, did you want to say the final thing for this assembly?
Well, I'm so happy that Drew is back presently, and we have missed you, Drew, for sure. Look, what can I say? My heart is so full of, well, of overfilling, rather, with all the beauty this morning. And oh, that's Jim. He's unaware that I'm on Zoom, I think.
We can't hear him. We can't hear him.
So I just think the Reverend Paula said it all, really.
Paula.
And I've got 2 months to get healed and be in the middle with you, Marty.
I would love that so much. But listen, you tell those doctors you have a bunch of children that meet every Wednesday that love you, and for them to get it right, because we'll come and talk to them if they don't. Tell them we love you that much.
Thing. That's the wonderful thing. The spirit from here just holds me up. It really keeps me being positive. And with Maureen's assistance, which I have pretty frequently, which is wonderful in a spiritual sense, I'm good to go. I'll be better than ever. I'll be like Drew. I'll be back stronger than ever.
Yeah, can't wait to dance again.